Not far from the Clifton Suspension Bridge are the Morph Film Studios. They're not a vast studio complex like you find in Hollywood. Morph is filmed in 3 rooms of a house just by the Cumberland Basin. His creators are Dave Sproxton and Peter Lord, and when I arrived, Dave was doing something very odd indeed. Dave, what on earth are you doing?
I'm just timing out a little sequence we've written, Sarah.
Is that what you have to do for all the Morph stories?
Yes, we do, because having worked out the idea, we then have to play it ourselves as if we're acting it to see how long it's going to run for and then fit it into the story when we've got it down to length.
So how long does it take you to make a film?
Well, for 5 minutes, it takes us about 10 days.
Where do the Morph stories come from?
Well, we get sent down a draft script, which looks like this, and then we have to knock this up to a shooting script stage, which looks like this. This is what we call a storyboard, and all these little pictures correspond to what the shots are going to look like. And on the other side of the page, we have the action, which is written out, with the shot numbers down one side and the timings for each shot down the other. Because we knew you were coming, Sarah, we've written a little story for Morph to perform, so if you'll just take the stopwatch, you can help me time it.
Right.
All that happens is that Morph's relaxing when you come in, so when I say go, just press the button.
Right.
Go.
Dave settled down to act the part of Morph. What was going to happen in the finished film was that Morph would be given a Blue Peter badge by me. From the time on the stopwatch, Dave would be able to work out exactly how to shoot the film.
There we are.
16 seconds.
That's great.
Good. So where does the filming
All
take
filming
place?
takes place downstairs. Should we go and have a look?
Yes, OK. Like film studios everywhere, once you're inside, you're in another world. Hello, can I come in? Morph's kitchen has been hand-built using bits and pieces from all over the place. Building the sets is mainly the job of Morph's animator, Peter Lord. Peter, what's Morph made of?
He's just made out of ordinary modelling clay.
And you just make one Morph?
No, we have to make quite a few. Do you want to have a go?
Well, I wouldn't mind.
Go on. Here you are, Sarah. That's a Morph-sized piece.
Is it?
And if you can make one a bit like that, I'll be very happy. I'm just going
let's
to go and dress
have
the
a go.
set now, OK?
All right, then. Where do you start? Start with the head. Why not? Although Morph looks very simple, making sure all his proportions are right isn't that easy, as I found out. He has to be exactly 12 centimetres tall, so that he's the right size for the film set. How long does it normally take you to make a Morph from scratch?
Well, it takes me half an hour, I think, to get one done.
Peter and Dave made their first Morph 4 years ago. Now they've created a whole family of them. There's Chaz and Folly, the drippy girl who's made of kitchen foil, Gobbledygook, who came visiting from outer space and decided to stay, and the biggest in the family, the blue giant Gillespie. The head of the family is Grand Morph with his long grey beard, and then there's the girl who's always getting in Morph's way, Delilah the tomboy. Perhaps the oddest of all is the nail brush who thinks he's a dog, and the multicoloured small creatures who do the work for everyone else. After 15 minutes, my Morph was coming along quite well. Where does the name Morph come from?
It comes from the word metamorphosis, which means changing shape.
Because everything in Morph's kitchen is lightweight, Peter has to fix them down with modelling clay so they don't wobble when he's filming. If they did, it could ruin the shot, and he'd have to start all over again. How's that?
It's not bad. I think if we squeeze him around a bit, give him a bit longer legs, we can probably use this one.
Do you think so?
I reckon.
Little Morph, you'll be famous.
He will. Needs a pair of hands, of course.
That's incredible he did those hands so quickly.
Yeah. They're just mittens, very simple.
Dave and Peter use a normal 16mm camera, but it has a special electronic animation motor attached to its side. This gives a relatively long exposure time of 1/10 of a second, so that the lighting level on the set can be kept low. Heat from a lot of bright lamps would make Morph go soft and the animation impossible.
There we are. He's ready to go now. What I want you to do, Sarah, is give him a Blue Peter badge, OK?
OK. Here we are, Morph. All yours.
No, we'll have to animate your hand as well as Morph.
Of course.
OK?
Of course, that's got to be very slow.
Yeah.
25 different pictures have to be taken to produce 1 second of the finished film. Between each shot, Peter kept moving Morph just a little bit at a time. Our film was going to last 16 seconds, which meant taking 400 shots. I could see now why Peter and Dave have to time everything accurately before they start filming. The action of Morph reading his comic, looking up at me and taking the badge was being created by moving Morph's position very slightly between each shot. To make Morph smile or speak, his mouth too has to be altered a tiny bit at a time, so that when the film is projected at 25 pictures a second, it opens and closes smoothly.
Yes, you do. It's not going to be for very long. Probably about 5 or 10 minutes, it'll all be over. So hold your hand up in the air off the ground, as if quite naturally.
Yes.
I'll take a frame. I'll move it again now.
How much? About that much?
Just a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. Move it again. Morph's looking at you the whole time. And again.
I really had to concentrate very hard to make sure my hand didn't wobble and move position too much. If it did, I'd look as if I was shaking in the finished film.
That's the way. That's fine. A bit closer to him. Just about ready to take it. And again. It's a bit delicate. I'll just... There, he's got it now. Now, you just keep your hand there, sorry. Keep your hand there for
Keep my hand in.
a couple. Looks a bit more natural. Now you can go out again.
Does my hand go out slowly or come straight out?
Slowly.
All right.
Sorry. That's fine. I'll get Morph to look at the badge. He's so pleased with it.
Although my bit had only taken around 10 minutes to shoot, the whole 16-second sequence took 2 hours to film. But you just can't rush animation if you're after a perfect result. And the result of that filming session is perfect because we've had the film processed and edited, and here's what Morph looks like receiving his Blue Peter badge. But don't blink, because even though it took hours to film, it really does only last 16 seconds. So wait for it. Here goes.
Are you coming out to play? Watch out today. Morph is on the loose again. Here he comes. What you meant
Now, Morph, it's all yours.
when he tries. Amazing things can happen then you realize that you're more alive.